Does it ever feel like life is just harder than it's supposed to be? Similar to if you were sick and you went to the gym and the weights were heavier than they were supposed to be. They're heavy weights as they are meant to be to build you up, but they're just too heavy. The 25-pound is heavier than it's supposed to be. Does it ever feel like life is just full of too much uncertainty? Everywhere you look, there are challenges that you can't overcome. There are questions that you can't answer. It feels like life is just piling up on top of you. I'm going to show you why it feels like that. And I can't give anybody one specific answer because for every person, it's very unique. But you, as the individual, know exactly why that is. Let's take an issue, for example, a simple issue. The ability to stay consistent, no matter what we're talking about, whatever skill, hobby, or craft you're working on, whatever career you're going after. Consistency is a virtue you have to be able to build. Why is it that it's so difficult to stay consistent? It's a simple challenge, and yet it feels so much heavier than it's supposed to feel. What is the reason for that? And you have the answer to this. You know what that answer is. It might not instinctively pop up right away, but if you were to go for a walk or chew at this question for a week without allowing distractions to take over your mind, the answer would come to you. The exact answer that you need in order to make that shift to stay consistent in your life. You can imagine it's as if you're at a library, you're trying to learn advanced algebra, you're trying to read something important from history, and there is clown music and people yelling, and there is a DJ up in front, all playing loud music. Of course, we're not going to be able to focus on the tasks, the questions that are in front of us. In the same way, we can't expect ourselves to be able to listen to our own intuitive answer that comes from within when we're constantly filling ourselves with distractions. If we're constantly avoiding that quiet time with ourselves, we do this through the phone. There's so many different ways we find to distract ourselves. And every single one of these modes takes away from our ability to listen to that instinctive answer that can fix everything. This isn't some complex strategy that is going to take long hours of thinking in order to get over. Very simple. Cut out the distractions and listen to the voice that's inside of you. It will lead you exactly where you need to go. That path might not be the path that you want to take, but it's the exact path that you're supposed to take. It is the path that will build you the most. You don't always want to lift that heavy weight at the gym, but if you want to progress, that is the exact weight you have to lift in order to get to the next level. And your heart will lead you in the direction that you have to go. But we can't hear it because we're so full of distractions from the phone, from relationships, from things that need to be done on the to-do list. When we clear the mind, the fog that's in front of our eyes, that's that distraction, clears away. There's a Japanese saying that when you get on the wrong train, get off at the nearest stop. Because the longer that you are on that train, the more it's going to cost you to get off. The longer that you live your life with this distraction, the longer that you don't listen to the voice of your heart, the more it's going to cost you to be able to switch paths towards your real journey in this life, towards the journey of purpose. Making that decision right now, that right now you're going to start listening to your heart. Right now you're going to cut out those distractions. You're going to listen to that voice inside of you and start taking the steps in whichever direction your heart is leading you. We like to think that these answers are very complex, that it's secrets that are hidden from us, but it's the simple, basic fundamentals that take you from 0 to 100. No phones, no social media, journaling, staying consistent, finding a hobby, finding something that you're going to apply yourself that's going to change your life. You have those answers inside of you. In this day and age of information, we're in an information overload, and we think that there's more and more. We need to search for more. But the answers we have, they're very simple, and it's simply applying those answers and listening to that internal voice that's inside of us. When you live a life full of clutter and distraction, it feels like you have to micromanage every single piece of your life, and you're barely able to hold on to all of these strings that are going in different directions. But when you're following your heart, everything falls into place. Everything is calm, it's grounded because you're going with where your soul wants. Everything just happens. You get into this flow state of life. The further away from your heart's journey that you get, the more fake responsibilities you will have, and the more energy will be sucked out of you as a result of. When you live this life of distraction, it is so fatiguing to try to accomplish something in your career, because every time you're trying to start, there is that internal voice of, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it today. It feels so annoying to have to get out of bed early. There's that negative voice inside of you that is fatiguing the crap out of you. It's sucking out your energy because you live this life of distraction. When you switch and you're on your path, you're on your journey, you cut out the distractions, that fatiguing voice is no longer there. When you do those hard things like going to the gym, like waking up early, that voice disappears completely. It's actually the complete opposite. You feel great. And that's the difference between being able to accomplish your goals and getting stuck where you are, where you're having to micromanage everything. Your own self is fatiguing you. It's not the hard work. The hard work starts to give you energy contradictorily when you are on the right path. The work no longer becomes work, it becomes play, and you're getting energy from doing that work. But when you're in that wrong place, when you're in the place of fatigue and distraction, moving towards your goals sucks the life out of you. That's why you have to recharge so often. That's why you get burnt out, because you're not using the right energy sources. The right energy source is to throw away the distractions and listen to the internal voice that's inside of you. Once you do that, once you shift your energy, attracting your dream life isn't this heavy conscious effort that you have to put on things. It's this light, grounded energy that gives you so much life energy because you're moving in the direction that your soul wants to go, that your heart is telling you this is the right direction. All you have to do is cut out the noise so you can listen to that voice that's inside of you. I'll see you in the next one.